Question number 2 from Michael, and he follows up. As part of my Easy Strength for Fat Loss work, I'm rucking every day. I train Monday through Friday with 30 pounds in a ruck at a mostly leisurely pace, 17 miles, and sometimes a bit faster in the 15-30-ish range. That's a good pace for 3.64 miles. Is this too much? I feel good. Some days my knee will remind me that I tore the lateral meniscus when I was a teenager, usually on the days that I push the pace. I think this is a tough one for me because I'm not sure of the answer right now. According to the calorie charts that I use, that when I walk my 10,000 steps a day at my body weight, and you and I are real close. Today I weigh 201, you're at 206, you're 2 inches taller. But one set of calorie charts say that I burn 400 to 500 calories in my 10,000 steps. Another one, the one I have in the book, says I burn 585. Now, the extra 85 calories that's not very much at all. That's just not very many calories. So I don't worry about it too much. My idea is 10,000 steps a day for a year is going to burn a lot of calories, and whether it's the additional 85 or not just doesn't matter. I like rucking, and I feel bad in a way because, like a lot of people, I over-rucked in the beginning. My rucking experiences come from my own experiences, but when I got some information from some actual studies on rucking, the first thing I realized is that I had been overdoing the load. And the load I use on rucking now, remember, we're the same weight. If I do ruck, and it's almost funny you can call it rucking, I use 10 pounds now. And part of the reason I don't go heavier is because I want to make sure that I'm I want to make sure that I'm walking every day. Ever since I moved to just pure walking, so I took off even that 10-pound vest. And don't forget, I used to ruck with 60 plus pounds. Then I dropped to 10, and I noticed an acceleration of my fat loss, and I felt better. When I just went to pure walking, I even felt better. I think rucking is a good thing. I think rucking in the mountains is an amazing thing. But at the same time, I guess my point is this, from what angle are you looking at your progress? For me, I'm trying to take a really wide view. One of my goals, I have a couple of physical goals. I'm 201, I've been losing a pound a month. I would like to sneak down a few more pounds. It's not much anymore. I'm starting to see things like funny bumps on my stomach. Someone said that's called a 6-pack. It's kind of nice, and my veins are popping and all, and that's all great. I'm doing it for longevity purposes, but at the same time, I don't mind looking better. What I've noticed, Michael, and I think a lot of our listeners, is if I walk and feel good, it's 11,000 steps now, 10 or 11,000 steps a day, every day, over time, I look better, I feel better, I move better. When I ruck with the heavy stuff, I have a very weird story about during the lockdown, the pandemic, COVID, where I wore way too much stuff. I purchased these heart rate monitors that you put in your ear. I had sunglasses on. I had a hat on because it was in the summer. I had to wear a mask because one of my friends who I ruck with is a cancer survivor. And then I had on my ruck, I had hand weights and I had ankle weights. And I got to tell you, I've never had a panic attack, but I sure understand what it must feel like. I had truly a claustrophobic response to all my senses being covered up at once. I had sunglasses on. And it was an interesting thing because the moment I pulled we have a 65-pound, and it's funny, it's camouflage. Why would you want a camouflage vest for training? That stuff makes no sense to me, but that's how I got it. And I took it off. The moment it came off for me, it was just like a moment, I just felt good. And sometimes that's all you need. And so when that happened to me, I started doing some of the original studies. Now, these have been from the 1980s. And weirdly, I was at the place when the studies were happening, but I never met the people. We're very close. And these are the people that recommended the 10-pound rucks. Once I started rucking lighter, I noticed that I was a lot fresher, had a lot more enthusiasm the rest of the day. And once I went to just pure walking, an important thing suddenly occurred to me. When I ruck heavy, I get hangry, I get hungry. I really start looking for food. I get that thing called food noise when I ruck too heavy. When I walk, I don't get that. So this is going to sound kind of a strange answer to your question, but the reason I moved to just rucking or just walking or light rucking is because it holds down the food noise. It holds down the panic. It holds down I got to just start shoving calories down my throat. When I was rucking heavy, when we would go to the Landmark Grill here in town, I noticed those were the days I would eat all my pieces of, I either eat sourdough or rye toast. When I don't ruck heavy, I don't even take the bread on my plate. It's a small thing, but 4 pieces of toast, a couple of days a week over time is a lot more calories than anything I burned extra from rucking. Oh, convoluted, crazy answer, but the point is this. If you have any hesitancy about your rucking, back off. If you back off and you still, it hurts back off again. It's better to walk every day this 3.64 miles, which is impressive. Takes you just over an hour, which you're probably in that 10 to 11 to 12,000 step range. Walk it a few times. See how your knee feels. Walk it a few times. See how the rest of your day's hunger feels. Just walk it and get a sense to see if it's time for you to lighten up and adjust. I learned this originally from Rusty Moore about walking after you lift. And of course, Greg O'Gallagher talks a lot about walking in his podcast, and I got great respect for Rusty Moore and Greg O'Gallagher. A number of other people really emphasize walking to me. When smart people who have a lot of success in fat loss keep telling you the same things over and over, if you don't listen, I think that is the definition of insanity. So I hope that helped, Michael. Great series of questions. So Easy Strength for Fat Loss, available over at danjohnuniversity.com/bookstore. Very easy program to follow. It's called Easy Strength, but it works really well for people who just kind of stick to it and just don't allow themselves to blow up doing too much. Thank you.